Good morning. Welcome to your Saturday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's kick-ass coach and psychologist, here with a really lovely card for today. I think you're going to enjoy it. So let's just settle in for a bit. If you want to take some nice deep belly breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Wiggle your shoulders a little bit, just shaking off the sleep from last night, getting present. And today, it was funny, there are no accidents, right? I talked about these cards yesterday. Good morning, welcome to whomever's here. I'm guessing it's Cindy, we'll see. And that's the deck that tested strong today, the Allowing Prayers deck by Siobhan Nash. And the subtitle, which I like, is 57 Invitations to Spark a Conversation with Your Soul. So that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to have a conversation with our souls. So I'd like you to find a comfortable spot. Close your eyes. Continue with nice deep belly breaths. Allowing. Yep, I figured it was you. Good morning, Cindy. Welcome, welcome. We'll see who else pops on. So our card is Allow Quiet. Good morning, Carolyn. Welcome. Allow Quiet. So, and some of you may feel your toes curl with that because there are those people who just don't tolerate silence well at all. I once offered a silent retreat. Nobody signed up. I personally would have loved that. Just time to be quiet. And I'm typically not someone who has music on in the car. I'm typically not someone who has, we don't even own a TV, so no TV. Good morning, Lisa. Glad you are here. Our card for today is Allow Quiet. Allow Quiet. It looks like a couple others of you have popped on also. Glad you're here. Good morning, Catherine. Welcome, welcome. And so I not only want to talk about this card today. Good morning, Morgan. Give Zoe a squeeze for me. Not only going to talk about this card this morning, but I want us to experience this card, all right? Because I think it has a ton to offer us, and many of us do not allow the time for this. We hit the ground running in the morning, and then we hit the bed flat at night. So I want to create a little intervention for all of us here. We're going to allow some quiet. So again, just closing your eyes, nice deep belly breaths. And I want you to just tune into your body. And I want you to just breathe into the question, where in my body am I most connected to my soul? My deepest self, my true self. Where in my body do I envision that? Does it sit in your chest, in your heart? Does it sit in your solar plexus? Does it sit in your mind? Throat. Where do you notice your connection to your soul being the deepest? And I want you to go there. Go there with the breath. Some nice deep belly breaths. Just moving into your soul space. Being present. And then we have a couple of questions. These cards love presenting us with questions. So today's card, Allow Quiet, has two questions. But just breathe into that stillness. And the first question is, when you stop moving and rest in the stillness of your soul, what reveals itself to you? When you stop moving and rest in the stillness of your soul, what reveals itself to you? So just be with that for a bit. And what reveals itself may be uncomfortable. We can do hard things. We can be with uncomfortable things. Just be with it. What reveals itself to you? Breathing and receiving. That beautiful guidance within. And then the second question is, what divine action does that message inspire you to take? What divine action does that message inspire you to take? And now I want you to pay attention to what came up for you with that second question, that action step. Does it feel like, yeah, I can do that? This is cool. I'll put it on my agenda for today or Monday or whenever, what day will work for it? Or does it make you go, how am I going to do that? If the latter is the case, I want you to break it down a little smaller. So that step may be a little lofty for you, but break it down. We can eat the elephant one bite at a time, okay? So I'm just going to make something up here. Let's say you're wanting to get a project off the ground at work, but you need permission to do so. And the idea of approaching the person who can give that permission freaks you out, all right? A step in the right direction might be just jotting some notes. What would I want to say to this person and why? Maybe that is an initial step. Oftentimes, if I have a goal that is too big, what I like to do is a Google search of some sort or another, just to get some information. Oftentimes I don't talk to people I know about it because, unfortunately, there's a fair number of people in my world who are in that little box we talk about, right? And they're the, how are you ever going to do that? That's not going to work kind of people. That doesn't help me move my vision forward, right? Find peace, and it reminds me to let go of things. Yes, 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 yes. And go within. Go within. So that's what we're doing. And yes, sometimes there's guidance that's forthcoming, and sometimes it's just that stillness that allows us to reboot, which is good. But again, thinking about that divine action. So I'll give you mine, all right? So I've been talking. Yes, they ick on your wow. You are absolutely correct. And one of the things that Julia Cameron talks about in her book, The Artist's Way, which if you've never read it, it is fabulous. And I'll tell you a funny story about that. I had the book. It sat on the shelf for a year and a half before it fell off the shelf and I had to pay attention to it. And as I was going through it, I'm like, oh, why didn't I do this sooner? Oh, this is so wonderful. This is so good. It wasn't quite time yet. Divine right timing, right? Divine right timing. So, as Julia Cameron says in The Artist's Way, your creative ideas are like infants. And you don't just hand your infant off to any old buddy, especially someone who's not going to take care of it. So you can protect those ideas, desires, creative endeavors that are in their infancy. Protect them. So it may be keeping it to yourself. It may be sharing it with those of us on here who are likely to go, that's a cool idea. Let's support that. I'm sending you good juju. Let's make this happen. And may help keep you on task. So one of the reasons I trotted out to all of you that I'm intending to create an intentional community is because then it holds me accountable, especially with things where I feel a fair amount of fear and trepidation. So when I went away to graduate school, I had never lived outside of Wisconsin. I was moving to Montana. Had an apartment, fully furnished, sight unseen, hadn't met anybody from out there because I couldn't afford as a poor college student to fly out and visit all of these places where I had applied for graduate school. So it was sight unseen. And I needed to be brave enough to go, right? So I threw myself a farewell party. When people give you presents to go away, you need to go away. Worked really well. I left. And it was the best 4 years of my life, really. It was an awesome experience. So now I'm talking about doing an intentional community, and it scares the Pewadden out of me. But I need to take a look at that. And that was my guidance. When I did the Allow Quiet, that was my guidance. I need to take a look at, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? Is it an ego thing? What if I fail? What is it? And it's probably multiple things. How am I going to do this? And I get overly attached to the hows, which is not helpful. I need to pay attention. I've said this to clients for years. Focus on your why. When your why is big enough, the hows will take care of themselves. All right? And yesterday, I got a little smirk on my face because something else unfolded that I thought I just periodically I get that sense that something that's unfolding is going to serve a purpose in this process. Now, as I look at this thing that unfolded yesterday, I can't exactly see how it's going to serve me in this process, but I believe it will. I can feel that it will. So Monday, I will take the first step on that thing. But again, it's good to hear what your soul is telling you. And oftentimes, in my meditation for today, the centering thought was, I participate to the fullest in creating my personal reality. In other words, I show up for me. I show up for me. How well are you showing up for you right now? All right? Take a look at that. And again, with this second question, what divine action does that message inspire you to take? It can be a baby step. It can be itty bitty, teeny weeny baby step. Does not matter. It's forward movement. And when you add all those forward movements on over time, you end up in a very different place than where you would be had you not taken all those little steps. Again, as I've said a bazillion times, we vastly overvalue leaps and bounds. Once in a while, a leap or a bound will happen. Most of the time, it's those baby steps, consistent baby steps, one after another, just keeping the feet moving. That's all that's required, all right? And keeping the eyes open, because who and what and circumstances that need to show up will show up. They're all around us, but we have to attend to them. We have to open up and invite them in, all right? So I'm going to read the two questions again. When you stop moving and rest in the stillness of your soul, what reveals itself to you? And off of that, what divine action does that message inspire you to take? So if any of you want to put your inspirational step in the feed, that would be great. Mine is going to be making a connection on Monday when everybody's back to work, and just seeing what that affords me, what kind of opportunity that opens up. So have an awesome Saturday. We will see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are, including listening to those still messages that are there in the quiet of your soul. Bye-bye.